23rd, the Islamic Association of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region released a report on the freedom of religion in Xinjiang. The report confirms that religious belief is respected and protected in the region, as stated in the Constitution of the PRC. It comes in the wake of accusations from abroad that authorities are depriving ethnic minorities of their religious freedoms, demolishing mosques and forcing residents into what have been termed labor camps. But what do the facts say? Do these accusations have any merit? Joining me for the discussion, Einar Tangen, current affairs commentator, and Li Weijian, senior research fellow at the Institute of World Religions at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. A pleasure to have you on, gentlemen. Professor Li, let me start with you. This is your department. How much do you know about the current situation in Xinjiang when it comes to religious belief?
Concerning the Xinjiang religion issues, there's too many fallacies, liars, and rumors about this. So these rumors, fallacies go on outside of China, especially in Western countries such as the U.S. So we know that this is not a fact. Just as the report said, I can tell 4 dimensions about Xinjiang religious issues. The firstly is the religious freedom in Xinjiang is guaranteed. Secondly, the religious activities in Xinjiang is carried out. And thirdly, the religious extremism and terrorism and firstly, religious communication and exchange are conducted. The first one, religious freedom, was guaranteed by the Chinese law, the Xinjiang local law and regulations. The Chinese Constitution said that anyone can believe in or not believe in any religion. Any kind of religion followers will be not discriminated. They have a right to believe in any religion.
Right.
So any state government or individuals or groups are not allowed to discriminate any religion followers. The second is that religious activities in Xinjiang was carried out. Normally religious activities carried out in Xinjiang.
Are they carried out in the time of the pandemic as well? Have there been interruptions to religious activities during the pandemic?
Yes. During the pandemic, as we know recently in South Xinjiang, Shufu County, a new eruption of COVID-19, have badly influenced the religious activities. But now I don't know whether or not the church, the mosques there have been closed or still open. But I know outside of Shufu County, such as in Urumqi, in other areas of Xinjiang, the religious venues, all of them are open, work well. So it's not influenced. The religious activities are carried as usual, but there's still some kind of different from before, from without the COVID-19.
Mr. Li, I'll come back to you later. Einar, we know these rumors well. Let's cite an example, just to give our viewers a sense of what these rumors look like. In September, the Australian Strategic Policy Institute released a report claiming that about 16,000 mosques in Xinjiang have been destroyed or damaged as a result of government policies since 2017. The claim was made by comparing satellite imagery. They have a conclusion based on satellite imagery. There's just so much wrong with that method in the first place. But why is Xinjiang an easy and repeated target of misleading reports? What has been driving those rumors?
Well, I mean, it has to do a lot with the U.S. 360-degree kind of pressure tactics on China. I mean, it's involved trade, it's involved politics, and obviously this is part of the political side. Everything that China does is wrong, although China hasn't really done anything differently in the last 10 years. Suddenly, there is this kind of thing. So a lot of it has to do with China's success. If China was not a success right now, I guarantee you, none of this would be on the evening news. But because China is a success, it's a kind of an existential threat to U.S. models of politics and economics. And that's what you're seeing play out here. This kind of saying that somehow China is being unfair to Muslims. You know, we could go on for a long time about the United States and Australia and the treatment of Aborigines in one case, and Native American Indians in the others, slavery, etc. But you know, right now, this is just something that they want to use as an example that somehow China is not playing free and fair, and that they're not supporting human rights, even though it's a fallacy.
I don't think a lot of people know this, but there actually have been frequent exchanges between Xinjiang's religious leaders and their counterparts in other countries such as Russia and Indonesia. And in 2019, the Council of Foreign Ministers of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation adopted a resolution commending China's efforts in providing care to its Muslim citizens. I know it doesn't look like those exchanges, rather high-level exchanges, have done much in painting the real picture of Xinjiang. Would you say that these exchanges should be expanded, and what could they possibly do to help the outside world get a better, clearer, and truer picture of Xinjiang?
Well, I think China should learn from its handling of COVID-19. I mean, facts speak for themselves. Allowing more international press to come into Xinjiang to see for themselves exactly what's going on. If there are any kind of abuses that are going on, Chinese government is more than capable, as it's shown in its battle against corruption, against the officials who didn't do their job in Wuhan, that they're willing to make corrective action. Doing that and showing that to the world would go a long way towards it. But there is still a sizable part of the international press motivated by especially people in the U.S. who see China as an existential threat, who are continuing to use this. And it's not just Xinjiang. It's going to be any flavor of the day, despite the hypocrisy of it, despite the fact that it's not reality-based. I mean, the 16,000, I mean, it's ridiculous. They cannot even tell you where these things are. They're making guesses about where a building was. I mean, in China, having been here for 15 years, I can tell you that buildings are taken down and rebuilt on a very, very fast basis. It's not like other countries, especially Australia and the United States. So, I mean, it's just far-fetched, and it's just strange that they would be doing this, especially since the majority of information is coming from a gentleman named Adrian Zenz. He's the one who's saying all these terrible things. And it's been proven that he has basically an organization of one, which has questionable support that goes back to an American regime change organization. And his models are based on interviewing 8 people or people who are referred to him by a known terrorist organization that by the UN and the EU. It used to be the US, but now they've taken it off for some reason.
Mr. Li, unfortunately, a lot of these misleading reports are the only source of information for people outside of China when they look for what's happening in Xinjiang, and that's true when it comes to religious belief as well. What could be a better way for people in the West, for people outside of China, to really know what is going on? How do we go beyond these simply erroneous reports to tell the true stories of Xinjiang?
I think the best way is to enhance the exchange and communication between Xinjiang's religious circles and outside religious.
We have had those exchanges. We have had those exchanges between religious leaders in Xinjiang and their counterparts in other parts of the world. They haven't really done the job. What is wrong there? What more can we do?
there's other methods to enhance understanding between Xinjiang and other side of the world, except concerning religion issues, such as we send religious students to study abroad, studied in Pakistan, in Egypt. You know, there's a very famous Azhar University. And we can invite other students, other religious figures come to China. We can hold religious festival programs together to increase the understanding, the religious exchange like that. So this is a good way to let outside world to understand religious issues in Xinjiang. And this is better for both Xinjiang, for, both China and other countries. You know, Xinjiang is a very important bridge, outlet of China opening to the Central Asia, South Asia, Western Asia, and in Europe and Africa. So it's very important, I mean, this kind of communication exchange.
Einar, we don't have a lot of time left. Briefly, let's talk about America, where a lot of the criticism on Xinjiang is coming from. Joe Biden has already spoken a great deal about the need to heal American society and also plans to overturn the Muslim travel bans instituted by President Trump. What about Xinjiang? When Biden enters office next year, what's your prediction on his administration's attitude towards Xinjiang?
Well, his administration is going to follow the general Democratic line, which is they're going to be very interested in human rights. It's part of the kind of political gambit they're going to be playing. Remember, Donald Trump was pushing the economics. He was pushing, the military side. For Biden, it'll be on international politics. He'll be trying to get a coalition of countries who think that China perhaps is not measuring up to what they believe are the Western values of human rights. So he needs to. China needs between that time now and that time to shed maybe a little sunlight. I don't know that student and professorial exchanges will do enough. I think you have to invite the press in. You have to let the sunshine in. China has a great story. What they're trying to do in Xinjiang is make sure that the people there have equal opportunities economically. If you don't speak a language where you can get a job, you're not going to get a job. So they're trying to change things there in a positive way, and I think that story needs to be told.
And I think the Foreign Ministry has extended those invitations. We'll keep watching when that happens, if the narratives on Xinjiang will change. Einar Tangen and Professor Li Weijian, thank you so much for your expertise